Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to transform myself into a zombie, and I filmed this video last week, but I'm not really happy with how it looks. I did also cut it, edit it, and I was almost this close to upload it, but no. I'm gonna refilm it because I'm not 100% happy with how it looks, and I think I can do it better. So this is what I'm going to do today, and you're gonna need for this video liquid latex, which is very runny and very waterish. The formula I have, but you can work really well with it. Before using it, like a day before, try it out, do like a patch test here on the back of your hand, and if you react, then you cannot use it because you're gonna have redness on your face and it's not gonna be pretty. So be careful about this, and liquid latex can be your best friend when doing like scars and gashes. I have here different shapes and sizes, and it's gonna help you look scary and bloody and yeah, really ugly and Halloween like. So let's get moving. You're gonna need some kind of a straight surface, something like what I have, or a plastic case, anything like that, and then the liquid latex and a brush that you don't care about, and some kind of paper sheets. This is what I'm using, but you can take like toilet paper even, and you need to separate it so that it's single sheets, and then break it into different shapes of pieces, like longer ones and squarer ones, depending on what your wound should look like. Then what you want to do with the pieces is roll them up like this between your fingers and make them look like a rope, and they are going to give texture to your wound. That's why you're doing this. You can make them thinner or thicker or longer or shorter depending on what you want to do with your wound. Then you want to dip into the liquid latex and apply it on the surface into the shape that you are after. You want to basically do the same thing with all wounds. If you want a squarer one or a rounder one or a longer one, you do the same thing and then apply the paper like this. You want the wound to have like two sides, like a real cut, and then put one more layer of that liquid latex, and if you want more texture, like a raised sort of wound, then put another layer of that paper and another layer of that liquid latex. Leave it to dry. 3 or 4 hours should be enough, and then in the end it looks something like this, and the color transforms itself into something of a reddish kind of color, and it already looks like a wound, And also in the end, you don't have to put powder or talc, anything like that, because it's not sticky, not like the other formula, the creamy one. I like this kind of latex because it's so thin. You can put so many layers and it remains thin, like the excess of that wound. It's so thin you can apply directly to your skin and it looks real. This is the liquid latex I have. There is another form, liquid form, that's more creamy, I think, and it remains white. You can see it's so easy to do, like pre-made wounds and scars, and you can use them afterwards by applying them directly to your skin. I'm gonna show you that in a second, but first I need to do my actual look before applying the wounds. And I took the palette from Morphe with Jaclyn Hill, the original one, and I've dipped into the sickly looking kind of color, and I'm putting this around my face, around the eyes actually, around the periphery of my face and around the nose and such. And then I'm taking a very light foundation, at least for my skin tone, and I'm applying this on the areas where I haven't applied the color, the eyeshadow I mean, and it probably would have been a bit easier if I would have applied the foundation before and then do the rest afterwards on top, but I forgot. So yeah, this is what I'm doing. I'm staying away from the yellowish color. I don't want to disturb my work, and then I'm going to reapply it. I want to intensify that color and also apply the same color on other areas like underneath the cheekbones and the hairline more, and then I'm going to do the whiter, the lighter areas where I've applied my foundation. I want them to stick out more. So I am taking the water-based color from ILINCA. This is a German company. I think they're so good quality and they're washable. You have no problem with like staining your skin or anything like that. For a scary look like this, you always need black. So I take the one from the palette. It's a matte formula and it did stain a bit. So yeah, that's just as an info, but it's no biggie. I could wash it off afterwards. And then I went over the edges with the same sickly kind of color. And then I took Black Track from MAC, which is a gel eyeliner, and I applied it in my waterline and also intensified a bit the base of that black. With the eyeshadows, I'm creating the bruises and the decay, and that's why I started on a larger area with a lighter shade, which was Creamsicle, and then gradually as I go into my look, I am intensifying those and I'm taking darker and darker colors. So I took the Pookie eyeshadow that was darker than the first one I've applied, then I take like a reddish brown, and I'm being careful to apply the darker eyeshadows on the same area but more restrictive. This way we are creating the 3D effect, which is what we're looking for. Now here again, I felt like I wasn't having enough of that white on the highest points of my face, so I'm reapplying it, and then I took again the black and I'm doing the periphery of my face in kind of a skull shape. I'm creating the temples, you know, the hollows there and the hollows of my cheekbones, and for that I'm tracing a line, like a really intense black line, and underneath I'm shading with black, and so I'm creating the hollows of my cheekbones underneath my cheekbones, and then I'm getting again to make the bruises. For that I'm taking again Pookie and the darker brownish kind of reddish colors and the black again to dust it over some areas and to intensify the bruises there and to create that decaying effect. I'm concentrating my attention on the mouth area. I feel like that's very important, you know, when you pull your mouth downwards. Now I'm taking another reddish brown, which is a lot darker than the last one I've used, and I'm placing this around the black kind of, and also on other areas where I feel like the decaying should be more intense. Okay, now it's time for the gashes and wounds and blood. Sorry, I'm just having fun. I'm just gluing down actually the pre-made gashes I did, and it's really easy. I just applied a bit of that liquid latex directly to my skin and waited maybe 10 seconds, and then I pressed the wound, you know, the wound on top, and it really does stick better than with the glue. Such a cool thing, the latex. I really do enjoy working with it. I think it shows. To be honest, I don't know why I'm laughing. I just had coffee today, maybe a bit too much, but anyway, now I'm taking the red, which is like a water-based color, and with a smaller brush I'm really getting into the wounds. I'm being careful not to go over the ball, not to go too much outside the wound, because it doesn't look realistic if you do. And I'm packing on this color, this fire red color, because it makes everything better, you know, it makes the look very realistic. And then I'm going to take a black water-based color exactly like this one, but the black version, and I'm just going to go over the raised kind of areas of the wound. This is definitely a very important step. You cannot skip it, because this will give the illusion that the scars, the wounds, the gashes are old, and that, you know, the decaying is real. If you've put too much black, then take the red color again and reapply it and create like a 3D effect. Shadows are very important when creating 3D looks, if you want to look realistic. To break it down really simple, you put a very dark color like a black one, for example, in the middle of the, let's say, bruise in this case, and then around it a middle shade, and then on the edges a lighter color. Normally it's like this, and I guarantee you will get a very believable effect. Maybe you've noticed that I've showed you a green kind of emerald color from the palette. I took it because I want to go around certain areas. If you've ever been bruised, you know, if you've ever like hit yourself and you got a bruise, you might have noticed that the bruise gets green in certain areas, and that is a very important aspect as well. So now I'm finished with the face, but I kind of want my body to look also very decayed and very zombie-like, so I'm going with the same colors around certain areas. I'm taking the black, for example, and I'm applying it between the rib cage bones, and where the highest point is actually the bone is, I'm going with the white, so I'm creating that very skeleton-like body. And then I'm taking fake bloods, and I have like two formulas. This one is more liquidy, I guess, and I'm placing it into my wounds directly, generously, and I let that drip. And I also have like the spray on formula, which you'll see in a minute what I'm doing with it, but it's more thicker and it also stained like, whoa, it stained. My knuckles were red the next day even, so you can imagine. Then I am ripping off my blouse. I am destroying my blouse. Yeah, a bit too much maybe. Then I sprayed myself with the spray with the fake bloods, which is a lot thicker than the first one, and as I've said, it stained. Even the next day I was red. In the end, I glued down my nails, the fake ones I did myself, and yeah, this is the look. I hope you liked it. Give a thumbs up, subscribe, all the jazz. I love you. Bye.